At Listen Up, we care about what you think. Pop by our website and answer this week's question. How do the Olympics contribute to Canada's well-being? Write to us at listenuptv.com. She competed in 3 Winter Olympics, Sapporo, Japan, Lake Placid, New York, and won gold in the 1976 Games in Innsbruck, Austria. Joining us now from Surrey, British Columbia, alpine skier Kathy Kreiner-Phillips. Kathy, we can only imagine the perseverance necessary as our athletes enter the home stretch before the Games. How much did perseverance play into your life as an Olympian?
Well, I'd have to say it was a very big part of my life. And that just reminds me of when I was, like we did a lot of water skiing back in Ontario. I'm from Northern Ontario, and I remember learning to jump off the dock water skiing, and one of those where you leap off and land in the water. Well, it was, you fall, get back up in the dock, fall, get back up in the dock, and it wasn't, and I kept trying until I got it, and I remember my brother standing on the dock saying, "Wow, you're persistent," and I just took it for granted, like, okay, that's what I'm going to do if I'm going to learn to do this trick.
Well, and you must have had a persistent father behind the boat there as well to keep picking you up. But let's talk about your parents for a moment, because in your early skiing career, your dad built you a ski hill complete with a ski lift just outside of where you grew up in Timmins, Ontario.
Yes.
Tell us how much that shaped your development as an Olympian.
Well, it's interesting coming from a small town and a small hill and going on to the Olympic Games. But we really did grow up in kind of the culture of skiing. My dad was a general practitioner in Timmins, but developed the ski hill by literally like cutting down trees and cutting trails. And we would be out at the hill on the weekends in the fall leading up to the winter as new growth would come up and getting the hill ready.
Now here's a chapter of the family affair that might not be so well known. When you were a child, you and your family used to go to church in your ski clothes so you could hit the slopes right after the service, but your pastor didn't appreciate it. What effect did that have on you?
Yeah, apparently the new minister didn't approve, so we just, stopped going to church and went straight to the ski hill because sports became a huge part of our life, through the teen years.
Okay, but it was during the 76 Olympics in Innsbruck that your spiritual insights began stirring again. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, throughout my teen years, I was always drawn to something spiritual, whether it was books on the bookshelf because my brother was studying at Knox College in Toronto, or I loved visiting the cathedrals in Europe and just sitting there and praying, and there was definitely a drawing for me. But then at the Innsbruck Olympics in 76, one day I decided to take in a movie, and it just so happened to be the movie Jesus Christ Superstar. And I just remember coming out of there just in tears, totally impacted by this, and couldn't stop thinking about the movie and the injustice I felt of Jesus dying on the cross. And so I remember having this conversation with God on the way up the chairlift to the start of my race, with knowing the Lord's Prayer, "Thy will be done," and really like just saying, "God, whatever you want me to do today, I'll be happy with that. If you want me to be 8th, if that's your will for me, then I'll be happy with that."
And that was your gold medal for Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, but that spiritual experience where you are praying going up the chairlift, did that launch something long-term in your life?
Yes. Long-term, not like there was still not the key turning point for me. The turning point came later when I met my husband, Dave Phillips, actually, who was also a competitive skier, but in freestyle skiing. And I just saw, he kind of broke the mold for what I thought a Christian was.
So now you are taking who you are as a Christian, putting it into the More Than Gold movement, leveraging your Olympic medal, your Olympic insights. Why is it important to you to bring a Christian perspective to the Olympics?
I think it's a great name, More Than Gold, because here we are pursuing gold and medals. And here I come from a gold mining community in Timmins, and won the gold and have gold-colored hair, sort of. But and it really is. We all have gold within us, right? And that's what we're trying to get to. And it's it's just exciting to, have the Olympics here where I live now, and to be part of the Christian community that is here to use a sporting event to build God's kingdom, because God's going to use this opportunity to build his kingdom here in Vancouver, but across the world, because this is such a huge event. And I mean, the whole Olympic movement is really like this wonderful spirit of bringing people together in peace and harmony. I can't think of another event that really does that. And so what a great partnership it is to use this opportunity as Christians to serve as well. So,
Kathy Kreiner-Phillips, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Gold medal winning skier Kathy Kreiner-Phillips joining us from Surrey, British Columbia. Coming up next, learning a lesson for the spiritual competition in our life from the excellence of the Olympics. That's in the wrap after this.